Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me coming again on this devil platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. Just coming from today with a little something, something. I'm now over to my children's home, and this is the new place that they moved in. You can't see it as much, but I'm here videoing in their dining room, and I had to be here for the inspection. And I decided, let me go in and put a little something, something out. I just download or upload a video about regarding a young man that just brought me to tears in my spirit because this is the way Sister Deborah want the men to in this day and time to tap into Yah. You see, this man, he was pouring out his feelings. You have to understand the state of mind he was in. He was in a state of mind that was deeper than flesh. That's why he could not stop the pouring out and the constant repeating what he was saying because something down in him. Hallelujah. It was something in his inner man that brought his outer man to the light. And when I mean light, to the truth of the matter, you all, it don't take all this and that. As simple as fixing my baby some food made change my life, change the way I feel and think and see. Just the little things. And these men today in this Hebrew Israelite movement, I don't know what these sick men are looking for and wanting. This man did something that I always say that our men needs to do. This is what y'all want them to do regarding their children. This is the way this man was conducting himself was perfect because he was dealing with the inner man, meaning the light of the Most High Yah was dealing with him from the inside that caused him. That's why he couldn't stop crying. He was just all over the place because his inner man was dealing with him in what you call spirit and truth. Brought him to a level that he didn't even have no idea that it don't take all this nonsense that everybody is trying to instill in people. It don't take all of that. Just the littlest thing is all y'all desire from us. And the way he was conducting himself, I was able to bypass his flesh and feel his spirit. Because when I was looking at the flesh, I got kind of emotional, but then I began to feel his spirit. And when I felt his spirit, I felt Yah. Okay. I felt how he's speaking these things regarding us as his children. So this young man, even though he was talking and you could see him and you would it would appear to you that he's just a good father or he's a father that's loving his children, but it's beyond that. It's telling you a story, okay? And it's a story that's been existing for thousands of years regarding a child, a people, and their father. Go back, look at the video, like, share, definitely share, please share. We need to make that video go viral because our men need to see something like that. They need to see that this is what you call a man that Yah using his own heart to pour out his message, because I can see a message from Yah in this whole thing that this young man was saying, because somewhere along the line we have profaned his name, has disrespected his name, has dishonored his name to the point we have no feeling, none whatsoever in us. We have no shame. We have no desire to have any shame, no pity. We don't have anything. And even Yah said he pitied his own name. What do you mean you pity your own name, Father? That is exactly what Sister Deborah said. Have you ever felt that you have wronged him in any way? Do you ever come to the conclusion, wait a minute, we are wrong in him? You know why? These people on this platform monkeying around in these last evil, wicked days. They don't understand how important it is to be about your father's business. And I ain't talking about your natural father. I'm talking about your spiritual father. You be about your father's business. He said all other things will be added unto you. So when they wondering why things have not been added to them, or why the things seem like they're the same and it's getting worse, you're right, it's going to get worse. Because those that he's adding to, they're the one that's receiving faith. They're the one that's receiving the endurance. They're receiving spirit and truth. They're receiving all the things that they need to run this race and to stay in the race until Yah says it's over. But you have so many people, and I am so sick of hearing everybody saying they one thing, but they going after each other, one another. Sister Deborah, I'm going after those who are not leading the people to the light. If they're not leading you to the light, to me, they ain't leading you down nothing but a dark hole. And I'm going to call it what it is. But I'm going to tell you all exactly what I can behold from the wilderness. Okay? So therefore, I'm not going to be telling you because I'm caught up in my flesh and my emotion. Ain't no emotion, got nothing in this. The Father that I serve, he cut all kind of ties to your emotion. He'll tell you quit. You better get out of that if that's what you in. If not, I show up and show out in you. And that's what he does. See, those that he loves, he chastises and he disciplines. People on these platforms, they haven't had no discipline. They haven't had no correction. They haven't had no chastising because they are not his. Yeah, they're yours. Those that teaches you, minister to you, and deal with your flesh and your darkness, but they are not of Yah. You see, because if they're not leading you to his bosom, to his righteousness, to his spirit and truth, to his faith, to his endurance, all they have to do is lead you there. They can't take you there. They can't grab your hand and take you there. You see, they can't even put the words to where they can lead you. All they have to do is tell you, you need to go there, not to me. Not to YouTube, not to Patriots, not to Instagram, not to my page, and so I can give you all the dirt of the world, and then tell you, sneak a little peek. Oh yeah, that's it's fake. People have so many clown clothes, I call them. They rap, they hide, and there's so much darkness behind it. But Sister Deborah, is so fed up with people who gets on here with the full judgment as if Yah has called them and said, I salute you. Go down there and get them. No. Only thing Sister Deborah going to do is judge issues and things people are saying. I'm going to judge it in the spiritual realm and still send the people to the light. I don't have time to play patty cake with these people on this devil platform, because that seems like in these last evil days, the tribe of Judah is always after each other. That's all they can see that's fit. The men going after their men. The reason why they're going after their men, because you see them in the closet, out of the closet. Yes, these men are doing some things that they ain't got no business doing, and they're doing it in a way to kick woman to the side. And women don't understand. They're not kicking you to the side, telling you to shut up, control you, and I'm a king, because they want you to be really up under them. They want you to sit down long enough to let them rise up, and they can be together with each other. A lot of that is true. And a lot of them don't even know. Without somebody like me with the gift to be able to discern, to tell you what you got in the midst of you, you don't know what you got in the midst of you. A lot of them thinking they got my brother. He cool. He didn't. No, baby, you got more than that. You got somebody that's sitting right next to you, desiring to have you. And you can't even discern it because you wasn't given the gift to. So when you try to put all these people in a black box so you can perform in your newfound religion and do things your way, y'all got your number. Because one thing you cannot do, you cannot put heathens in no black box in this day. They all coming out. And that's what season we're in. So if you're not about spirit and truth, you ain't carrying the faith, the gift of faith, the gift in endurance, the gift of long suffering, hey, you need to stand down. You have to have the Ruach HaKodesh being your full and only teacher. Only teacher. You can't have these men on this devil platform. He said, put your trust in none of them. Any man that trusts in a man, you are not of the Most High Yahs. Y'all better wake up. Go to that light and get there soon and real soon, because the door is going to open. I'm telling you. Like I told y'all, the women's being scabs in their head, being purged. I'm telling you, women, he already started on you. He already done started on you. That's a good thing, baby. That's a very good thing. So it's a lot of things going to take places. And he talk about your men, your brothers, your husbands, your sons, your fathers. They're going to die by the sword. And the mighty men, the ones who think they got it all. I'm telling you, and they ain't got no sense to understand that was Isaiah 3 and 4 was talking about. They ain't got no sense. They think it's time to party with a bunch of women, have a bunch of wives, and we're gonna do that. And it's just the sickness of the way they teaching the people. So I, Sister Deborah, I just wanted to get on here and say a little something, and want you all to understand that what time, what day you are in. In this day must all these things come up before us. Another thing, the thing that I know a lot of people don't want to hear, you're not making it over there to the other side, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. You're not going over to the other side, okay? Now, there's going to be generations that's coming and that's here, but haven't stepped forward. And even they could be children, they could be, but you're not going. Too much dirt, too much blood on your hand, too much dirt in your mouth, too much, your heart is like wax. You don't have any sense of anything that's spirit and truth. You don't have none of the fruits of the spirits. You have no respect for the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ. You don't have no honor, no respect, and you want to profane his name and too ignorant to realize it ain't the name that comes out of your ugly mouth. It's a name that he founded, put you under before the foundation of the world, before your mouth even exists, was your name, were you put under his name. So tell me what name that you call on that caused him in the heavens to put you under his name. And you have profaned it knowing his love for you. Knowing all the time he had that love for you. And you profaned him right in his face. I love it when he says in Deborah, in Ezekiel, was it Ezekiel or Jeremiah? I think it was in Ezekiel. He said, and I had pity on my name. I get it, Father. I already got it. I received that because I had pity too, and I still have it. Just because I'm thinking of, hey, this is the creator of all things. All things is held up in his hand. How dare we get over here and profane his name in front of the heathen? That's why the heathen treat y'all the way that they treat you. That's why they do the things that they do to you. It's because they look at you saying, wait a minute, these are the people who have disrespected the creator. Wait a minute, these are the people who have disrespected the land that he gave them, which is the richest land on the face of the earth. These are the people. That shows that you ain't got no sense and ain't had none. That shows that you as a Hebrew Israelites and the tribe of Judah ain't got no clear sense at all, to where the heathens knows and knew who you were. They knew who you were, but they just couldn't understand why would a people have been called under his name, the creator's name, and be on his land that he created for them. Why would they be dispersed? Why would they have to be ran from their land? Oh, he don't want them no more. They worthless. They ain't no good. That's how they saw you. Then you get in front of their faces and you profane and disrespect his name and dishonor it and think it's all good. Even to today, year 2021. I'm speaking of the men. I'm speaking to you men. This is how sick you become. Now, you was already that because you all keep lining yourself up with the fathers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's lining you up with the forefathers. So there's a total difference between the two. But yet you insist on wanting calling on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You need to go, you need to route that again and go to where it's really at, where you really rest therein. And when you do, you'll see Isaiah telling you, you'll see Ezekiel telling, then you heard Jeremiah. Then I said, hey, Solomon, what's up? Solomon said, well, Deborah, I just called it all vain and vast. It's just too much to handle. It's just too much to handle. You're giving these people, and you see, and you're giving them back, you're giving them everything you learned from under the sun, and you telling them, you know what, whatever. It's all vain and vast. It's worthless. It's vanity. But Sister Deborah come to tell you this, because Solomon wasn't in the day, the year that I am in this day, in the last days. I'm here. I'm who he have sent. He has ordained and predestined me before the foundation of the world. So it ain't nothing you and nobody else could say. I don't want to hear your verses and what you quoting. It's no verse in the Bible can quote anything to me. Because it's a young lady gets on here and she calls herself quoting Bible. She don't even know what the racks behind she said. So I let her just quote. At first, I wanted to commune with her. I'm going to respond on one because I don't like her getting on this platform saying anything to anyone that's on here responding to me. You see? So therefore, you can go somewhere else and play that little game. And she seems like she comes from the heathen side of understanding, and she's deeply in it. A lot of Satanism and witchcraft is taking place big time. But see, that word needs to be broke down into her spiritual, because she's really ignorant when it comes down. I mean, it needs to be broke to her spiritual, because she's real ignorant when it comes down to natural. And that's where a lot of you all are at. You're ignorant in the natural. You're so full of darkness, you can't even see nothing spirit nor truth. You can't comprehend nothing he's sending to you, and he's warning you, he's telling you. You see so much yang going on, and you just get all up in that Kool-Aid and just be sipping it day and night. Oh, I can't wait till Wednesday. I can't wait to Sabbath. I can't wait just to get on there, just to sip into all that Kool-Aid with nothing in it but sugar. Stuff for the flesh that you can get addicted to. And that's what they feed you all. The stuff of the flesh, trash of the flesh that can destroy you from the inside out. And you all are developing a desire, an addiction to it. And none of them is telling you nothing that cause you to say, Father, yeah, search my heart, renew my mind daily, Father. Put in me a pure heart that I may serve and worship you all the days of my life, Father, yeah. Turn me to the light that I may walk therein and serve and worship you all the days of my life. And seek thy face, Father, while you can be found. Direct me in the walk toward the light. There is a verse. Let me see if I got my Bible here. I don't have it on me. That just done something to me to see it. And the Most High was telling them in that day that I must walk toward the light of Yah. See, Sister Deborah ain't telling you nothing wrong. And if it's so hard for you to walk toward the light, you need to get your butt today, right now. Keep your walk in the dark. Don't turn to my page. Narrow is always the gate to what is righteous. That's why you go to the other side. It's because you need the darkness. That's the only thing that can manifest in you. The darkness is the only thing that has time and space in your mind, your heart, in your inner man. Darkness. That's why it feels good. People I sit and I watch and I hear, as long as they speaking trash, people eats it like a $4 deal. And they love it. Can't wait for the next story or the next thing you tell them that's going on in the world. Try telling them something in Yah's world. Tell them something about in Yah's universe, in Yah's heart, and what Yah stands for, what is in his spirit. You can't tell them because you're so embedded in what is in the dark till you feed the people only the dark because that's the only way you're going to get your subscribers and your likes, which is fine and dandy. But in this day, everything you've done from this day, Yah has counted it. He ain't erasing it. Yeah, you can't even get on your knees and erase it. Let me tell you why. Because you have fed the multitude trash. Now the blood and the issue is on you. How you misled. It's impossible. See, I remember a young man. He wasn't a young man. He was older than I was. When I went to Atlanta, Georgia, I remember moving in his house. And there was this lady who was assistant pastor, and her son, he was, I think he sings and he plays, I think, the guitar. And he was older than I was, but he was battling with something. And he knew that his mother, how would you say it, favored me for some reason or another, and he wanted to, one day he asked me, can I talk to you? I said, yeah, come on over. And he sat on my porch and he began to tell me about how he was a little boy, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and how his mother sold him to men to rape him for her drugs. And he began to tell me how all the things she allowed people to do to him. So he was the sell-off. Instead of giving people money, they took him. And mother did it, and he still remember it today. Now she in church saying, God forgave me. Now you just have to forgive me, But people don't understand. There is so much on your hand, and out of your mouth, it's like blood on your hand. So a lot of people thinking they can get on these platforms and they can just sing darkness to you all day and night, and it's all well because I got you as a subscriber. Ooh, you like me, you love me, you praise me. All that is we're giving flesh the glory, and you have nothing for Yah, and Yah don't have no problem with it. He's not gonna send Deborah here to beg you to turn to the light, because guess why? Before heavens and earth was created, he knows who's on the light and who's on the dark. You see, he already know. He already had everything past tense. It is written. See, we thinking he's so dumb, it's gonna be the way we want it to be all the way up until the end. No. You're lost. You ain't making it to the promised land. Okay, you're not gonna make it there. You be lucky you don't go to damnation come judgment. I'm speaking to every tribe of Israel and the tribe of Judah. I know they teaching you. They done smeared that word along with those heathens that have tampered with that word and smeared it and smeared it and smeared it to where they got you believing what they want you to believe, just like the heathen had us believing what they want us to believe. Now the Hebrew Israelites in the tribe of Judah got us believing what they want us to believe. So wait a minute, what is there to believe? Believe this, that Yeshua HaMashiach, which is Jesus Christ, and you can say that, will lead you. The HaMashiach, which is Christ, power, usher the Ruach into your spirit. That's why you can't bypass Christ. You can't bypass him. That's the only route you're going to get to the bosom of the Most High Yah. You can't get no other way. That's the only door you're going to have to knock on. That's the only place you're going to have to seek. That's the only one you're going to have to ask in the name of Christ. Yeshua HaMashiach, which is Jesus Christ. I don't get it where they can cut off Jesus, but they hold on to Christ. It's confusing to me how the Hebrew Israelite has wrapped that around. But I tell you this, it's not what comes out of your ugly mouth that Yah measure. Because see, if that was it, who will he measure? All of us is doomed are going to hell. We got to come another route. We got to believe in him. It's spirit and it is truth. And that has to have its place in the spirit and not in the flesh. Because if he gave you out of your mouth a name, and that should master everything. Yeah, you as dead can be. You already in the broad gate. If you think for 1 minute it's the name that you know, the name that you can profess. First of all, he said you can't worship me in nothing but spirit and truth. You can't worship me but nothing in spirit and truth. When he talks about the name, listen, people, the name is spiritual. Now, what makes it spiritual? That means your spirit is listed. under that name. Not your flesh can rumble it. You think that he's the type of creator that he allow one to understand it and the other one don't? No, he don't do that. He said, I come, Deborah, to measure the heart of a man. What part of the heart? The spiritual heart. Because the natural is wax hard. But the spiritual one I can measure. He come to judge your heart. You see? Not everything you rumble out of your mouth. That's why it's so much chaos on this Doing Devil platform, talking about we got the name, we got the covenant, we got the feast days, we got the commandments, we got everything. We covering everything, but your heart is rotten as hell. That's sad. You're dead. See, that's what Solomon was saying. Everything became vain and vast, worthless. Wait a minute. I'm going to stand on the spiritual side because what I see under the sun, all this stuff is vain and vast. It's worthless. It's vanity. So you all need to get a grip of what he's talking about. Then you need to go to Jeremiah, and you need to go to Ezekiel. Then you need to go to Isaiah and understand their mission is speaking the same thing Sister Deborah is saying to you all. Ain't saying nothing no different. But in the year of 2001, and you think you're going to keep on escaping being hateful and evil and wicked and talking about you represent the creator? Please, you can't represent my Yah, my Savior, my Redeemer. You can't represent none of that. Not with a hateful heart and wax hard heart. Trying to teach people to hate. Not trying to teach them to love, because what's about to come, you're going to have something in you to love it, but keep it going, and that's going to have to be the light of the Most High Yah, keeping you in the way you could see, not keep walking in darkness like many of you all are. So I, Sister Deborah, would say this: get a grip. This ain't about you. This ain't about you. Thank the Most High Yah that it ain't, because if you really go back to Isaiah and Ezekiel and Jeremiah, they'll tell you how ugly you really are. You think you on Deuteronomy 28? Y'all sicken me with Deuteronomy 28, because I do not have no respect for those who took that book of Deuteronomy 28, that chapter, and they cut it in 3 pieces. They took the good part out that the Yah pleaded with. Then they took the back end where he said, until all is destroyed. That's what Sister Deborah telling y'all, you ain't going nowhere. But he kept that middle part and formed a denomination called the Hebrew Israelite movement. And they whooping y'all tails with that Deuteronomy 28. But you don't see the part where he said until they all destroy. Nor do you see the part where Yah has pleaded with us as he's still doing today. But they cut that out and want to feed you to coming on the ships and how he's going. You all is just as lost can be. And I have no respect for people who keep profaning and dishonoring and disrespecting his name. Get out of this mess about his name, because you don't know his name. Because if you know it, it ain't something you can say out your ugly mouth. It's an action in which you walk in. It's an action in which you perform in. Let your light so shine, the world can see it. They can't hide you. Now one of you got a light to shine worth of crap, because you're so full of darkness. But you're teaching these people a level of hate that can't get them to the light. They can't find the light if you're teaching them hate that deep in the dark. You men of Hebrew Israelite movement, you are lost without a cause. And you know what? You better take the other half, the other end of Deuteronomy 28. You better digest it, because you are not going to that promised land. You are not going. And I'm going to tell you something else they ain't telling you. When the Israelites was brought out of Egypt, thousands and thousands was destroyed in the wilderness by great number. And then millions never made it to the promised land. Like until this same stage, you ain't going. You ain't going to make it there. You ain't going to head there. So you might as well get yourself prepared for eternal, the eternal heavens. Get yourself under that. And that's love. That's forgiving others. Repenting to the Most High Yah for how we profane his name. We dishonor his name. We disrespect his name. Shut our darn ugly mouth regarding the name, because he ain't gave you nothing out of that ugly mouth that's so precious as his name. His name is an entity that you rest therein because he created, put you under that entity before the foundation of the world. That's why Adam was in the vision when he told him, you were counted as righteous. It ain't that you really did nothing. I counted you because before the foundation, you was the one that I had already ushered into it. Stop being naive by this poor, I call it very poor teaching. People are hooping and hollering now, dancing and chanting all kind of things and call that worshiping Yah. What happened? You know what? At least when they was in the Christian church, you felt the quickening. Even every man that's being on this devil platform talks about the Christian. They talk about the Christians because they're afraid to go back to it. They think they are so far from the Christians in the ways that they're teaching. They far. They ain't far at all. You're matching the Christians' ways in their hearts. But let me tell you something about in that Christian church. There was power. Hallelujah. There was power amongst some of them people. So all these leaders, Moors, watchmen, seers, prophets, y'all need to get that stuff right. Y'all need to get that stuff right. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you all, I am out. And shalom and shalom. Thank you.